Hello again, my name's John. I'm a retired chef from the northeast of England in the UK, and welcome to my latest video. And in this one I'll be making this fantastic but simple and impressive looking basic egg fried rice recipe with king prawns. You can view the ingredients list and full written method for this recipe on the recipe page on my website. I'll leave links at the end and under the video, or just click on the eye icon top right of the screen. Before I go any further, I'd like to give a quick shout out to this week's Patreon and PayPal donators, and they are Aura Collins, Jutta Schneider, Jay Barry, Enid Haswell, Alan Baines, Jimmy Kirkbride and Claudio. And once again, please consider supporting my Patreon appeal for as little as $2 per month, or if you prefer, you can make a one-off small donation using my PayPal page. It really does go a long way towards ingredients and production costs, as every penny pledged goes back into my videos. And whether you've donated or not, thanks again for your wonderful support in watching the channel. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get on with today's recipe. The rice you use to make fried rice has to be made the day before and left in the fridge overnight. If you try to use the rice on the same day as you boiled it, the fried rice would end up sloppy and mushy. Now I'll show you how I do mine. First I wash the starch off the rice as much as possible, about 5 or 6 rinses. Now cover the rice with about an inch of water, add a teaspoon of olive oil and a half teaspoon of salt and get it onto the heat. I'm using 150 grams, which is 5 ounces of basmati rice, which should be enough for 2 servings. Once it comes to the boil, turn down the heat, cover the pan and set your timer for 8 minutes. This is not the way you would normally prepare rice. I only use this method for my fried rice dishes. Once the time's up, drain it and let it sit for 30 minutes. Get it into a bowl, cover it with cling film and get it straight into the fridge to be used the next day. And this is one I made yesterday, which now weighs around 350 grams, that's 12 ounces. And that should be enough, like I say, for 2 servings. Now for this dish you need everything prepped and ready to go, because once you start cooking it goes pretty quick. The small amount of vegetables needed is 2 average sized spring or green onions. You may also know these as scallions, chopped fine. Try to cut these on an angle, they'll look much better that way. Do the same with the carrots. I'm using 4 baby carrots, but you can use a small ordinary one, but don't overdo the amount of vegetables used. Lastly, finely dice 1 large or 2 small cloves of garlic as shown, and get those into a small bowl ready to go. You'll also need 40 grams, that's 1.5 ounces of frozen garden or sweet peas. There's no need to defrost them because they go in frozen. Now 1 egg does 2 servings, so I'll give that a good beat, so that's ready to go as well. To make this fried rice a bit special, I'm using these king prawns in mine, but if you want plain egg fried rice, just miss this step out. Now my prawns are raw, so I'll need to part cook them in this 170 degrees Celsius, that's 340 Fahrenheit vegetable oil. And these literally only need 45 seconds in this hot oil. I'll let you watch while I fry them off. And that's it for these prawns. They are now 80 to 90% cooked. They'll finish cooking in the fried rice. Right, that's everything ready, and believe it or not, that's all the preparation done in only 12 minutes. Okay, time to put it all together. In a wok or frying pan, add a tablespoon of vegetable oil and get it hot. Avoid olive oil because it doesn't handle the heat very well. Add the beaten egg and sort of scramble it into smallish pieces as shown. Once it's cooked, like mine, take it out of the wok and onto a separate plate for now. Next, add another tablespoon of oil and get that hot and start to fry off the vegetables for about a minute. Next, add the day-old rice. Break up any clumps so it's loose and single-grained as shown. Try to keep the wok hot, but not so hot that it starts to burn everything. Time to add the seasonings, and this is where you make your homemade fried rice taste just like takeaway fried rice. Instead of pure MSG, I add a teaspoon of these chicken granules. And this particular brand has no added MSG and it uses 25% less salt. Or you can simply add a teaspoon of MSG granules, and you can buy this at most Chinese shops and Western supermarkets. It's what most takeaways use, and if you use it in moderation, there's nothing wrong with it. Next is a half teaspoon of salt, followed by 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, and that's it. Now give that a good mix until the soy sauce has coloured all of the rice. Now add back the egg and mix it in. Keep the rice moving all the time. And now it's time to add the frozen peas and mix those in. Adding them frozen at this late stage preserves the vibrant colour and shape of the peas. And finally, if you're using them, add in the part-cooked prawns. Give that a further minute and that's it done. Now you have a very close to takeaway standard egg fried rice. In my case, special king prawn fried rice. Now from start to finish, this whole process only took around 18 minutes. That's 12 minutes preparation and 6 minutes cooking. Last time we ordered a takeaway, it took 45 minutes to arrive and cost 3 times as much. I'm not knocking these guys, but it is nice to make your own once in a while. Right, I'll have a quick taste and then I'll show you a quick presentation idea you could use to fancy it up a bit, like in this opening image I used. And why not? This gorgeous dish you've just made deserves it, and it only takes a minute to do. And honestly, that is absolutely beautiful. The rice texture is tender and perfectly done, the vegetables are just right, and the flavour is exactly what you'd expect from a good takeaway or restaurant. And those prawns are also perfectly cooked. Wonderful. And now for the presentation idea I promised. This part you can prepare before you start the recipe, and that is to butter a couple of cereal-sized bowls. Place 3 or 4 prawns at the bottom of the bowl. Now carefully and quickly spoon the very hot fried rice into it, but not quite to the top of the bowl. Very lightly press it down with the back of a spoon, don't compact it too much. Now place your serving plate on the top of the bowl and flip it over. It should slide straight out. Carefully tidy it up and quickly garnish the top with whatever you like, and serve while it's still hot. Very nice and presentable. Or you can just pile it on your plate with a load of French fries and curry sauce. It's entirely up to you. And this top nosh definitely gets a big thumbs up from my lot. Well, thank you again for watching. Please like, share, comment and subscribe by hitting the circle above. If you do subscribe, activate the bell icon next to the subscribe button on my channel page. And by doing that, you'll be automatically notified every time I upload a new video. And in the meantime, here's a few of my other videos and playlists that you may want to watch. So, until the next time, be safe in your kitchen and bye for now.